The EXZone, episode number 84.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's Morning Sip. I am your host, Nina Babel. And just how you guys know, I keep it 100. I keep it real. I keep everything true. And on my podcast, we overshare. There's no filters. No topic is too personal. And no point of view is too taboo either. I talk to you guys like I talk to my own girlfriends and guy friends. We real talk. So Thursdays, this is how I do for those of you who are listening for the first time. These are super short episodes. And I have these epiphanies, lessons learned, pieces of advice that I always wanted to share with my listeners. And today, we're going to be talking about the EXZone, right? It's all about the friend zone, keeping those guys and girls at bay because, we view them as friends. But let's flip the script for a second. I'm going to focus on 3 areas where we were flexing with our ex. And then all of a sudden, it was a good, bad, ugly, or even mutual breakup. So what do you do in either of those scenarios? There's no right or wrong answer here. It's purely situational, and I would think that you have the talent, strength, and composure enough to go with your gut, right? And not your third brain guys, and not your heart ladies. You hear me? It's a shitty feeling. Everyone goes through an ex detox differently. And can you be friends with your ex? I mean, that is the bottom line. Eventually, I think yes, we all can. But that yes, it depends. It's totally conditional, depending on the outcome of the relationship. Hurt me once, I'm not going to want to be near you ever again. So Maya had something to say. She's in her 20s and she's an actor trying to make it big in LA. And this is her point of view when it comes to going forwards and not backwards.
Like a lot of people I know will break up, get back together, break up, get back together. I've never been someone like that. I'm like, we're done, okay, bye.
Yeah, you don't go back to your ex. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I might hotline bling you next weekend. Like, sorry. God. But relationship-wise, we're done. I can even separate my friendships from my, romantic relationships really easily. Like, I'll stay friends with my exes. I have no problem with it. I still care about you as a person. But you have zero chance with me now.
Yes.
That's just how I've always been.
So once you burn that marriage, you
burned it. Yeah. There's a lot of people who just don't forgive, and they sure as hell don't forget either. If you were the one hurt or broke off the relationship, then that's something different. But yes, if there are no unresolved feelings of wanting to be together or even be physical together and hotline blinging together, then, that's a different category on its own. There's some unresolved everything. But then if it was a mutual decision, heck, green light. But at the end of the day, time heals everything. And I know people don't want to hear it. God knows you don't want to hear it at that moment in time. But you get over it. I don't mind being friends afterwards. Then there's that kind of phase, sensitivity phase, I call it, where you kind of transition to where you just can't be friends. And the last thing you want to hear is that person who's breaking up with you, when they use that proverbial statement, let's just be friends. And in your head, you're just saying, don't insult my ass. I feel like years have to go by before you could truly mean that, genuinely, authentically, or you just leave it alone. So how about when you're married and even in some cases divorced? Lana is in her 40s and, her marriage fell short of 10 years. But this is how she dealt with coming back full circle and being friends with her ex-husband.
Why am I apologizing to Shane? And I think I was and then I called him one day and he was his bitter, nasty self. So I called him one day and he said, what? And I was just like, Shane, I want to apologize to you. And he was just like, what?
Right, I could hear him saying that.
I said, I just want to apologize for whatever I may have done that I did not realize how it would impact you. I apologize. I said a lot of things I did was out of ignorance, inexperience, and fear. I apologize. So if some things I did impacted your attitude towards me, I didn't mean it. And I wish I could have done better. Like, I was like bawling on the phone. And he was just like, what do you say? This is the weirdest apology I ever heard. I was just like, well, listen. I said, I've said my piece. And that's all I can do. And if you accept it, I'm glad. And if you don't, I just know I told you my piece. And got off the phone. And about 2 months later, I remember I was at a nail salon. He called me, and ever since then we've been friends.
So did he call you to do the same?
No, he just called to say, "Hey, what are you doing? How are you?" Some people don't know how to apologize, and that's not. And to me, that's not your problem. It's clearing. I have to clear me up. Like, I don't care what you're doing with yourself. I need to cleanse me.
Yeah.
So his apology probably came like 3-4 years later. So maybe something I did impacted him too, but it took that long. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But after I was able to, but from whatever I said, he was able to move into a stage of being a friend.
So now we have the other side of the argument, right? And those are the population of men and women who are like, yeah, no. We need boundaries here. They have to stay in the X zone. You can't trespass. You got to chill on those doggy-dog tendencies. And what do I mean by that? Don't think. You have the authority where you can piss and mark your territory again and again with me. You have to respect my space. And when I say that, I mean airspace, public space, phone space, tech space, personal, and social media. When you are friends, you will realize why they should stay right there in the end zone and nothing more. Because you have the ability to see clearly now.
If he really liked me, then it would be awkward because I didn't like him like that. Then it wasn't awkward for me. But I guess if you really like someone, I could understand how they might just want to not have anything to do with you, too.
At some organic point, you both rise above the jealousy, the insecurity, you develop friendships, or at least you kind of transition to being nice, right? Like those whole niceties. Maybe, you're showing face, you're saving face, and being courteous, as I would call it. And you just walk away. There's no reason to bring each other down, hate on each other over the failed relationship. Regardless, just chuck it up and deuces. Keep it moving.
Yes, you can. I'm actually friends with my ex. We were friends before, and then, how you just try something, doesn't work. Stop talking for a minute, but, we're cool. We're cool. Nothing like, I can't talk to you. And then you got some guys just like, why? Why what was I thinking?
Remorse. Boyfriend remorse.
You're just like, I don't have remorse. I don't regret it because it helped me when I try to find somebody else with not to have a boyfriend. So I don't have a type to stick to because, you stick with the same type, you get the same result.
Married folks, too. I have to include them in the list. But let me caveat to say that there are some signature exceptions that should just fall off your radar. For good, Z. For real, Z.
My husband and I broke up and got back together so many times.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah. The first year, but now together. Mm-hmm. But it was so tumultuous, and he said he wanted to pound the life out of me before our first date because I was so infuriating, literally. But right. He's like, "Oh God, you make me so angry about certain things." So yeah, our relationship broke off even before it began.
So we've determined the EXZone is dependent on the type of breakup, right? Keeping an ex as your friend after you dump them is much easier than when they dump you. Let's be real. If you dump them, there are no lingering feelings of resentment. If they treated you like dirt, yeah, no, you're done. And if it's mutual, it's possible to be friends based on your own watch, right? You do it in your own time. Just say thanks to the universe for the good times. You learn from the bad times, and now you can move on. You can keep it moving. Okay, so that wraps up another episode of Morning Sip. I hope you enjoyed today's gulp. Sip, sip, hooray! Help me spread the word, Sip Nation. Was this episode good for you? Are you going through this emotional moment of the EXZone? Why don't you hit me up on Twitter? You can do that by mentioning episode number 84, and you can follow me at Nina Babel. And in case you're struggling with how to spell my last name, it's just Babe with an L. Easy as that. But regular episodes of the Keep It 100 Girls show will continue to drop every Tuesday as usual on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Auto Radio, Google Play Music, and TuneIn Radio. Don't forget to review the show on iTunes. If you are a Apple iPhone mobile user, check it out. It's that purple icon sitting on your mobile phone that you just want to mash up with a 5-star rating and review. I rely on it a whole lot because it helps me grow. It helps me stand out from the crowd. And you know, for you guys, it just helps women and even you men understand yourselves better. But let's keep it 100. I'm over and out for the week. Enjoy your day and weekend. Smooches!
Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking